Are you underperforming when it comes to conducting performance appraisals? Performance appraisals are meant to help your employees set goals, decide who gets promoted, determine potential raises, and other objectives. But if you don't know how to successfully conduct a performance appraisal, none of those wonderful things will get done. In fact, in a recent study, 42% of employees stated that their reviews didn't help them understand what they needed to do to improve their performance. I'm Sissy with Jotform, and if you need some pointers on conducting successful performance appraisals with your employees, stay tuned. In today's video, we'll go over some tips to help you make the most out of your review process. Let's get into it. Improving your employees' performances is the main point of an employee performance appraisal. And the only way to achieve improvements is to set goals. So it should be a no-brainer that you'll need to spend some time guiding your employees on their individual goals. Employees need and want to know what's expected of them. Just follow the acronym SMART, meaning the goals you set together should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. An example of this is you and an employee set a SMART goal related to professional development, like earning a credential in the next 6 months by attending a certification course. It's probably safe to say that most of your employees would love a raise. Since employees want to be seen as high-performing, give them some motivation with a potential raise and/or promotion. This will give them something to aim for and make their high-performing efforts worthwhile. During performance appraisals, let your employee know what they're doing right and what they can improve upon. Communicate what superior performance looks like at your company so they can know what to strive for. Although many of your employees are probably already high-performing, there's still a likelihood that you'll have some employees that underperform. Don't freak out. Their underperformance isn't a cause for firing. Instead, take this opportunity to counsel these employees towards meeting company standards. Perhaps they just need to set a few achievable goals, freshen up job skills, or learn new systems to improve. Help them come up with a plan to improve performance. Don't just point out their weaknesses, but bring up their strengths too. Doing so will give them reassurance that you have faith in their abilities and want to see them thrive. Key components of performance appraisals are raises and promotions, and it's likely that your company already integrates these as part of its performance process. It's easy to identify which team members are performing best in departments that use hard numbers to measure performance, like sales or customer service. However, it's important to integrate raises and promotions across all departments. If you take the time to measure how an employee is doing and review whether or not they're meeting the goals they've set for the previous period, it's much easier to determine if they're ready for a pay increase or a title change. Be on the lookout for high-quality work and the desire to continuously improve. These are the employees who deserve acknowledgement and an appropriate reward for their hard work. Performance appraisals are great tools to determine if your employees are meeting goals, but they can also let you know if your company is understaffed. Perhaps you're conducting appraisals and find that many of your employees on a certain team all feel overworked. This can help you decipher the need to hire additional employees to support that team. You can also use this check-in to identify superstar employees and to set workplace benchmarks. Let's say an employee continues to hit their previous review goals. Gauging how well they execute their goals can create a benchmark for how future employees perform in a similar position. Going through the performance appraisal process will help you determine the overall training budget of your company, in addition to figuring out how effective your current training practices are. Determining which of your employees need individual training will help you see the bigger picture. Perhaps you're conducting performance appraisals and notice that most of your finance team is struggling to understand your new billing software, and your IT department already has given training workshops on the software. So now what? Maybe arranging a group training customized by a third party to better explain the software to your team will be beneficial. The last tip is a tough one to talk about because no one enjoys having to terminate an employee. However, if you do have to fire someone, or if they're moving to a new department within the company, they could legally challenge your decision. This is where creating and storing a paper trail comes in handy. Filling out a performance appraisal form for each employee each time you conduct an appraisal with them can be a form of evidence that employees were treated fairly and that you confronted performance issues and worked on creating a solution. Not only does your paper trail help safeguard your company, but can act as a point of reflection when assessing employees and their performances over time. When it comes time to conduct your performance appraisals, just keep all of these goals in mind. This way, you're not wasting anyone's time on ineffective appraisals. Let's do a quick review. Implement these 7 objectives next time you conduct performance appraisals at your organization. First, make sure you're helping your employees set SMART goals. Second, motivate your high-performing employees with bonuses, raises, or promotions so they have something to continue to work hard for. Third, counsel your underperforming employees so they can make necessary adjustments. Fourth, measure performance on an individual basis and implement raises and promotions accordingly. Fifth, plan for new hires, whether that's externally or within the company itself. Sixth, take time to determine if there are any training needs overall, not just on an individual basis. And seventh, create a paper trail so you and your company are safeguarded when it comes to employee termination. Again, I'm Sissy with Jotform. We'll see you next time.